Happy Friday, getting ready for the weekend. If you have fun with your family or with your friends, that's awesome. If you're out there making work, if you're out there driving and working and hustling, I hope you make good money and stay safe, right? Whichever way you go, just stay safe. That's the main thing. Now, this is huge news. This is massive, massive news. California Appeals Court yesterday upholds ruling that Uber and Lyft must classify drivers as employees. What happens is, if you lose a court case, you try last chance, last station, appeals court. It's a very, very, very costly process. A lot of people don't even go to appeals because they could lose in appeals again. Uber and Lyft lost in court, now lost in appeals court. What is the only, and by the way, they have to get their act together in 30 days, in 1 month, right? Uber and Lyft must classify their drivers as employees. An appellate court ruled yesterday evening. However, the decision will be stayed for 30 days after the court issues the remittiture, which has not happened yet. I haven't ever heard that. Oh, Thomas is in the house. Thomas just sent me an emoji, man. I'm like, oh my God, it's like that thing was customized. It looks exactly like you. These glasses, everything, man. I'm like, I saw the emoji. I know I've seen your emoji on my phone before, Thomas, but man, that's like spot on, dude. Spot on. You gotta help me customize mine. That looks like a lot of fun. And like, wow, how close that is. Thanks, $3.99. I'm going to buy a coffee with that. I like it. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. And you and San Diego. Paul was on our show yesterday with Harry Campbell come in and clarify where he stands. He said he's no on 22. He came onto the show yesterday. Carson Boyd asks the right question here. Does this invalidate Prop 22? No. Prop 22 is their saving grace. If they get a yes on 22, they saved. It's like, put it this way, like you're in the 15th round and both fighters are going for it, right? Both fighters are going for it. You get knocked down to the canvas, right? You get knocked down onto the canvas. One of the fighters gets knocked down, right? He manages to get up 10 seconds before the final bell and wins on points. Gets a unanimous decision because in rounds 1 to 14, he was scoring points. Look at it that way, right? Boxers slugging it out, boom, 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 going at it. 15th round, right? Uber goes down, hits the canvas in appellate court, manages to get back up, is not counted out in the fight, saves themselves for the bell, and then the judges go to the scorecards and see, wow, they get yes on 22 and they win. So they're not out of the game, my friends. That's why we're going to keep on clubbing, right? Keep on clubbing. What I do, one of my favorite boxers of all time, I can watch his footage all day long because I like how he gets into the face and just works the body and works him way up there. That's Mike Tyson. I've met him a few times. My kids did a photo shoot with Mike Tyson. I've helped Mike Tyson get his Ducati back up because his Ducati fell over once at the Wild Card Gym. I like the guy. I don't care what the people say about him, right? He was tortured and tormented as a 14-year-old. You got to watch his documentary. The best fighter of all times. I can watch all his fights. I know all his fights. I've watched all his fights. I can watch them over and over again. I never get enough of watching Mike Tyson. I watched him against Pinkleton Thomas. I think, is it Pinkleton Thomas? And he just literally wiped him out in the last round. It was a full fight. But so why am I making this boxing reference? Because that's fairly much how Uber is handling this. And I will also get into that picture that I created with all the attorneys, right? Because they've truly, we'll go through this, they've truly disgraced themselves. They've disgraced themselves, right? They need to pack up their bags, their makeup bags, whatever it is, exit the building, their Gucci bags, whatever it is, and exit the building, because they have been on the wrong side of the law. They kept on pushing falsehoods. They kept on pushing misclassifications, right? Even though the law clearly told them, right, as of January the 1st, 2020, that they had to comply. But they didn't comply. They just kept on pushing the lies, breaking the law, not following the law, thinking they're above the law. And again, here they got slapped down. And they're still doing the same, right? They're still misclassifying drivers. Now, throughout the case, Uber and Lyft have argued that reclassifying their drivers as employees would cause irreparable harm to the companies. In the ruling today, the judge said neither company would suffer any grave or irreparable harm by being prohibited from violating the law, and that their respective financial burdens do not rise to the level of irreparable harm, right? So, in so many countries, in so many states, they're controlling the algorithms. They are manipulating the outcome. They're making a lot of money. In their most favorable market, California, right, they got shut down. California was literally the first state to take them on, heads on, right? I believe Massachusetts and New York also took them on, right? But the law is clear. And what is also clear to me is that none of the Uber or Lyft attorneys are playing ball and following that law. In fact, if you're here in California, I don't know if it would also apply to an attorney or a counsel registered in Chicago or New York, but California attorneys, right, working for this company should truly be disbarred. It's a disgrace that they keep on putting the drivers down, misclassifying them, and the laws are clear. And the laws were made very clear once again in appellate court that they are misclassifying the drivers. We've got Timothy Neufarth in the house, Abstract Echo, Kenneth H., Rashim Allen, Paul Figueroa. Paul says, what's up, Thomas? Thomas is in the house. Alfredo Rosales. And let's see, who haven't I given a shout out here? Lucia Hurtado, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Hope you, your families are safe on this Friday. Sanitize those cars. Make sure you, your kids, wear the masks. Let's get through this, right? And if you're out there in the field working this weekend, I don't know if Paul Figueroa is going to be putting in any hours this weekend, or Thomas, please stay safe. Make sure those riders comply. Make sure those drunk riders also comply with the rules and regulations of your car. Payman Ali's in the house. Good to see Vegas in the house. Sir Irwin's in the house. Just tuned in. Is Pro 22 invalid if passed? Again, the way I explained it, I used sort of a boxing fight reference that if Uber were to get a yes on 22, right, they would not adhere to this appellate decision, right? So this decision is not final. They are told by the courts, they're told by California, you have to comply and get everything ready within 30 days. And what Uber is hoping is that in the 15th round, they get saved by the bell, and that the judges go to the cards and give them a unanimous decision on yes on 22, right? It is our duty to clearly look at the language on yes on 22 and compare it to the language on no on 22. And I've made the decision. Harry, the rideshare guy, was on my show yesterday and said he's voting no on 22. I'm all in no on 22. I've made my points. And this, I think, is a good thing, because you know, if you win in the appellate court and they get a no on 22, now we can start forming the language. Now we can start getting the best, right? The deal here is not just to knock the companies down. The deal is to get a win-win-win situation. Win for the drivers, win for the state, win for the companies, right? They have to really talk to each other and have the drivers at the table, right? But to bully themselves through with a $200 million campaign is just flat out wrong. And what saddens me, I'm going to jump over here briefly, is that our taxpayers subsidizing Uber and Lyft's campaign somehow, and we'll go into this, somehow, yes, on 22 mailers got non-profit status with the post office. So are California taxpayers subsidizing their marketing campaign? I mean, that's a huge one. We're going to jump into that just now, right? But so additionally, there is nothing in the preliminary injunction, according to the judge, that would prevent Uber and Lyft from offering flexibility and independence to their drivers. Let's make this clear to the people that want to vote yes, right? Additionally, there is nothing in the preliminary injunction, according to the judge, that would prevent Uber and Lyft from offering flexibility and independence to their drivers. So what the state is saying, give them the flexibility, let them choose, right? Give them independence, right? Not taking that away. The big thing is with yes on 22 voters, they think that flexibility and independence is being taken away from them. No, it's not. No, it's not. Not at all. Sir Irwin, I appreciate you, but he said I voted no. Elias voted no. Carson, I voted no. Torsten Kunert voted no. Kenneth Holacek, thank you all that you do. 7 months of retirement since pandemic. I'm convinced I took my last trip. Evil company, they could take care of us a long time ago. Karma is paying back Uber. Well said, Kenneth. Well said, right? You base your decisions on a history of abuses where trust was broken, trust was broken, trust was broken, and trust was broken. How do you trust someone, right, that goes behind your back and cheats and cheats and cheats and cheats, right? Maybe give them one chance, let them back in, they go out and cheat again. Trust is broken, it's over. You got to separate, right? You got to go your own way. Now, to me, this is a big one here. When the judge says it, as I said, I want to repeat this line because it's very, very powerful. Additionally, there is nothing in the preliminary injunction, according to the judge, that would prevent Uber and Lyft from offering flexibility and independence to their drivers. Lastly, the judge said Uber and Lyft have had plenty of time to transition their drivers from independent contractors to employees. Given that the case in passing AB5, the gig worker bill that spurred this lawsuit, was decided in 2018, this ruling makes it more urgent than ever for voters to stand with drivers and vote yes on Proposition 22. Lyft spokesman Julie Wood said in a statement to TechCrunch, right? So that's a cry of desperation right there. A cry, oh, look who's in the house, Dennis Torres. I referenced one of our favorite fighters early on, Mike Tyson. Danny Morgan voted no from Scotland. Okay, good, I like it. Where? Scotland. Are you from Edinburgh? Where are you, Danny? Cool. I'm glad that you voted no over in Scotland and send in your ballot to California. Good. We need your vote. If it only counted. I wish our Scottish friends could participate in the vote. In fact, I wish that other states could participate in our vote. But it's a California vote. And Californians, listen, before we jump back into this, I mean, this here is mind-blowing. Somehow, yes, on 22 mailers got non-profit status with the post office, right? Which means taxpayers are subsidizing Uber and Lyft's campaign. Californians are paying for this, right? The Yes on 22 campaign, funded largely by 3 giant corporations, has sent out millions of flyers to California voters in the past month. And the opponents of the measure say taxpayers are subsidizing the cost. Listen, California, wake up and smell the coffee, right? You bailed them out of the pandemic. You bailed them out because they put zero. They didn't put $413 million into, the health fund. You bailed them out, and now you are paying for their campaign. Like, enough is enough, right? What a cheek. What a cheek. NOP's in the house. Neil Moritz, first time I see your name. These drivers in the ads are paid actors. Yes, they are. Come straight from Hollywood, straight here from California. Paid actors, right? That's a really good one. That would be a great video. I'd want to have those people on the show and show me and give me your credibility. Oh, like they say, oh, I'm a driver and I voted yes on Twitter. No, you're not a driver. You're a mom of 3 kids. You've never taken a single trip on the app, right? This other old dude, oh, I'm a driver, right? There was only one driver. It said there was like one driver. It said underneath driver from so-and-so. All the other people were paid actors. California, don't fall for this crap. Please don't fall for this crap. Glasgow, I love it. Glasgow City, brother. I got a Cali friend to vote no on it. Yes, I love the influence coming from Glasgow. Beautiful. I've been there. Beautiful, beautiful. I visited those castles and walked around the towns, and oh my God. Love Wales, love Scotland, love Ireland, love England. Traveled them all. Stunning, stunning, stunning cities, stunning history there. Buildings, architecture, off the charts. Jose Taveras. Hola. Hi, Prof. and all. Altio here. Good to have Altio in the house. Den Mag. How to join the lawsuit against Uber and Lyft. Well, I would get it in yesterday, right? I would get your lawsuit in before November. I would reach out to Potter Handy in California for the video that I made. Those are California labor attorneys. They're heavy hitters. I made a video. Just go back 3 or 4 videos. You'll see 3 attorneys. Reach out to Christian Schreiber. Tell him you want to get your lawsuit and tell him Rideshare Professor sent you. Or if you're in Massachusetts or one of the other states, go with Shannon Lichten Riordan. I mean, those are sort of 3 heavy hitter companies that I can endorse, right? My dad grew up at 25 Rose Place in Belfast, Ireland. Beautiful. Denmag, I appreciate that, and we keep on clubbing, right? This 15 rounder is not over yet. We're not on the canvas. We're not on the canvas. The final bell has not rung yet, right? So the latest form 460 filings for the Yes on 22 campaign show that as of September 19, the Yes on 22 campaign has paid $3.5 million in postage for mailing campaign flyers to California homes, about 1.5 million less than they would have paid if they paid the regular postage. So who's picking up the tab? Californians, right? That's because the campaign, funded largely by Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash, claims to be a non-profit organization. And you know who sets up these non-profit organizations and comes up with these schemes to defraud drivers and to defraud Californians? These guys, right? So they might have all these pretty smiles and the great makeup and the eyeliner and the swag suits on, but don't be fooled by the appearance, ladies and gentlemen, right? Don't be fooled by these. These are disgraced attorneys, right? Disgraced attorneys putting drivers down, misclassifying drivers, screwing over Californians because they are going out there registering non-profit companies. You got to be an attorney to set up a non-profit company so that the Californians fit the bill, carry the bill. And that's their doing. You're looking at them right here. At here, Smiley Joe, this smiley chick, smiley, excited, smiley, 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 right? All smiles, right? But the recipients on the other sides are not smiling because California is fitting the bill and drivers are hurting because of these thugs. I call them the cockroaches of the world, right? They should be disbarred. Just pure, pure, pure evil, what they do. With their smiles on their face, they go like this to California. They go like this to the drivers. They go like this to the Uber, to the delivery people. This is going to be a train wreck in the courts. Yeah, I agree with that. Should Proposition 22 pass, Uber will have some standing. If it doesn't, they will either have to change their algorithms or quit. Correct. Well, I agree. Look, I agree with everything you said there, right? I don't think they would quit, Cayman. I mean, even if they have to cooperate and just follow the law, right, they'll still make money. They're making good money in New York, and it's working in New York. And people are not earning poorly in New York, right? With the changes in Seattle, they're still earning, Uber's still earning in Seattle. It's just that the way they want to manipulate the algorithms, I say sorry, not sorry, right? I'm not sorry for these fools if they have to make the changes, because they just went into markets and gave the middle finger to the laws, whether it was in London, UK, whether it was in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, whether it was in Los Angeles, California, United States. Wherever they went, these characters here gave the middle finger. We're above the law. We do not have to comply. Sue us, and, we'll ride the storm out and hopefully win in appellate court. Lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday, a $260 million lawsuit was filed by drivers against Uber, right? So spending $200 million on a campaign, of which a lot is subsidized by taxpayers, as I've just showed you. And then on top of it, they're getting a $260 million lawsuit. The person that actually filed the lawsuit, the plaintiff, there's a good chance I'm getting him on the show. We're already talking, right? So I want to talk to the heavy hitter who had the balls to take them to court, these thugs to court for $260 million and stand up for the drivers. And that was over Uber infiltrating the apps and pushing their false propaganda, even to drivers that did not want to see this propaganda. And mark my words, the next lawsuit is in the pipeline against these thugs, and that is from the riders, because the riders also don't like the fact that they are being scared and bullied and told, oh, you know what, the rates will double, you're going to be losing these privileges, you have to vote yes on 22. That type of marketing does not fly through the apps, right? And hence a $260 million lawsuit. Again, happy defending that one, right? I don't think there'll be big smiles on these faces. And the one thing I do know, that, mark my words here, in the other channel, I'm making videos, and there's about 3 slides, right? Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 3, 18. There are about 48 of these characters, of these cockroaches, and every single one I'm dedicating a video to on the other channel. I'm going to name them by name, and then I'm going to call them out and that they're disgraced because they did not follow the law. They thought they were above the law, and yesterday, they got their day of reckoning. Uber said they are bankrupt. Well, they're not bankrupt yet. No, they're not bankrupt. They've never said that they were bankrupt. If they said they were bankrupt, their stocks would just plummet. What they're doing is they're selling off assets. Sold off a part of Uber Freight, right? They sold this. They sold a part of their self-driving unit. They sold a part of Elevate because they need cash. They moved their engineers to India. These are all signs that the company needs money, right? That they're burning through cash and they're not making money. I'm not surprised, right? If you have to settle lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit, misclassification suit after misclassification suit after misclassification suit, you start running out of money. And that goes, you have to attribute that to the poor leadership of CEO Travis and Dara, right? That they're not running the ship. In fact, they're going full steam towards the iceberg with a Titanic, right? Lorenzo Davis says, Neil Moritz, what city you in to make $500? Thomas San Diego Rideshare Pro says, I don't believe Uber will quit. No, they won't quit. I agree with you. They will figure out a way to still make the company function. Absolutely, 100% correct. So no fear there that they are going to abandon Don't buy into the fear when they tell you, whoa, we're going to desert, we're going to leave the California market. No, they won't. They're not going to leave San Francisco. They're not going to leave San Jose, Sacramento, San Diego, Orange County, LA, Palm Springs, Ventura. They're not going to leave those markets. Santa Barbara, and you with me, Riverside, Inland Empire, Yucaipa, Apple Valley. They're not leaving those areas, right? Because they make money there, right? They're just asked to comply. Now, so nonprofits get about a 30% discount on postage. So those thugs I just showed you, they set up nonprofits to get about 30% discount on postage, with that 30% subsidized by taxpayers. I'm going to make, you know what, this is worthy, this topic here is worthy of a separate video, right? I really want to appeal to California voters on this one, right? That they are helping subsidize that campaign with their tax dollars, right? Millions of mailers have gone out, said Mike Roth, spokesman for the No on 22 campaign. They were able to save 12 cents per mailer, ripping off the US Postal Service. By any measure, Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash and their $200 million corporate campaign is a non-profit. The figure of 1.5 million is likely a conservative estimate as well, seeing as the latest filing is from more than a month ago, and the Yes on 22 campaign mailers have been an abiding presence since September the 19th. Exactly. So Californians, don't fall for their nonsense, right? Don't bail them out of the pandemic. Don't subsidize their marketing campaign to try and buy your vote. Neil Moritz says, LA. NOP says, thank you. I'm trying to figure out once stimulus is passed again if I'm going to need to get a PP loan because my PUA will expire in December here in Colorado, but depends in Congress. Well, I'll give you the best way to spend your $1,200, and apparently it might even be higher. It might even be, there's talk of $1,400 or $1,700, right? Here's the best way to spend your $1,200, ladies and gentlemen, right? Hear me out. Hear me out. Okay, we covered that one. I'm going to do a standalone video on that. Hear me out. You take your $1,200, right? You make sure you start the application for your own private limo license, right? That's what you use the money for, right? You don't have to use the whole 1,200. You use about 800, right? And then you use the difference of about $400 maybe for the first 2 months of commercial insurance. Go out there, recruit private drivers. Feel free to take them from Uber and Lyft. Build up your private portfolio and turn that $1,200 into $120,000 within 2 years, right? And in the third year, you'll be making over $100,000 anyway. So I will truly show you how to turn that $1,200 into $120,000, right? Very, very simple if you follow the formula, right? And you're not relying on Uber and Lyft, and you're putting 100% of your earnings into your pocket. And here's the most important thing. You are truly, truly independent. You're an IC. You're an independent contract. If you own your own LLC, your own limo car, you set your own rates. You can decline. I have declined people because I don't want their toxic energy in my car. No, I'm not driving you. Or I've driven them once and they want to drive again. I'm like, sorry, it's not working out between us. I'm the boss here. I don't need any toxicity in my car, right? It's just like drivers don't need any of this type of toxicity. Completely misclassifying them, right, drivers, creating nonprofits to take away from taxpayers to pay and fund the Yes on 22 campaign. We don't need that. We don't need their toxicity, right? We got to break away from this type of pure evil. We got to set up ourselves up, right? So I say, sorry, not sorry. I'll take your clients, right? You screwed me over, right? You screwed me over year after year. You did this, you did this, you did this, you did this. I'll take all your clients, and I'm proud of it, right? I'll openly say I'm proud of recruiting over 100 private clients, whether it's through Uber or Lyft, right? Directly or indirectly. If I got one rider from Uber who was in my SUV and I converted them to a private client, that private client brought me 4 or 5 other families, right? So maybe thank you to 20 to 30 people that I recruited away from Uber and Lyft myself through my type of sales campaign. I then created a portfolio of about 100 private clients that are very loyal, that know that my leg is broken, that know that once my leg is healed and I'm back on my feet, they said, don't worry, we'll keep on booking you. We only want you. So get better. And they send health baskets, they send food, they send gifts, right? Those are the type of pure good relationships you should create, not these type of toxic relationships, right? These people here, I mean, what did this fool tell you, right? Oh, we're not a transportation company, completely dismissing and putting the drivers down, right? We're a technology company, right? They're irrelevant. No, hang on, Tony West, back up for a second. We built this company, right? We pay your salaries, right? You are the master orchestrator, the magician here, who's creating nonprofits, screwing over California citizens. You are the marketing, the magician here, the orchestrator, right? Who uses these goons here, these cockroaches, to misclassify drivers. You are the one who concocts the algorithms with the engineering group, with Dara's approval, finding the loopholes, how to screw over hardworking people legally. And what you do, you're doing it all on the backs of Californian taxpayers, right? That are bailing your company out, right? You never paid the $413 million. And you know why? Because you, Tony West, you thought you were better than AB5 law. You thought you were above the California law. Now they slapped you down, right? And I'm not slapping any woman. I don't. But this guy, slap him out the room. This guy, slap him out the room. This guy, this fool over here, slap him out the room. All the other ladies, take your Gucci bags, take your makeup, and get the F out of the headquarters at 1455, because you are disgraced. You've made fools of yourself. Okay, so this ruling makes it more urgent than ever for voters to stand with drivers and vote yes on Proposition 22, says Lyft spokesman Julie Wood. I have to look her up, Julie Wood. That's a desperate cry. Oh my God. Now we're in real trouble. We lost an appellate. Now we really, really need the drivers. Proposition 22 is a ballot measure in California that seeks to keep rideshare drivers and delivery workers classified as independent contractors. We know that the measure, if passed, would make drivers and delivery workers for said companies exempt from a new state law that classifies them as W-2 employees. If passed, app-based transportation and delivery workers would be entitled to things like minimum compensation and healthcare subsidies based on engaged driving. And as the judge said in this case yesterday, your flexibility, right, your independence will not be compromised. You can still go out, drive whenever you want, right? And you can choose with whom you want to drive, right? Versus on the yes onto, and this is the study conducted by UC Berkeley, right? Independent study, not Uber's paid study, right? So what they say is Uber is offering 30 cents and 120% of minimum California wage. So in LA, that would be $13. Uber says that you're getting $15, right? UC Berkeley runs the study and says, hang on, that's only for engaged driving time. Tell them the truth, Uber. Tell them the truth, Lyft, right? So you're paying them 30 cents a mile. 500 miles on your car equates to about $150, $160, right? 165 maybe. And then you're getting about anywhere from $5.65 to $10 per hour. It's because it's only engaged time versus the $15 that they have promised you. So it's another lie, right? Lie after lie after lie. There's a pattern, right? You start losing the trust. You start losing the trust. Meanwhile, Lyft says it's exploring all of its legal options, of course, which may include appealing to the California Supreme Court. Guess what? Go to the California Supreme Court, buy more time, you'll get slapped down again because the law is very, very clearly. Uber similarly is considering its appeal options, right? So they lost in court, they lost in appeals, and now they say, well, you know what? We'll elevate this to the California Supreme Court. I will guarantee you will get slapped down in the California Supreme Court. I'm willing to take any bet on that, right? So pretty dang funny. It says time to start a ground-up rideshare company that isn't going to be held accountable for past transgressions and do it the right way. Amen. I say amen to that, and I wish a local co-op out of Canada the very best, because they have the very best model that I've ever looked at. The only thing is they don't want to launch during the pandemic, right? They're waiting for the numbers to come down, right? Very, very few companies would go out and say, okay, we're setting up an infrastructure, we're going to pay for all the licenses, invest all the money into marketing, and the market's just not there. It doesn't make sense for a rideshare company to launch during the pandemic, right? So maybe the true beneficiaries, maybe like that, existing taxi companies, 20, 30% goes to Uber and Lyft, right? But you will see these companies jump back in when the pandemic subsides, or when the pandemic is over, and we have a long way to go. So today's ruling means that if the voters don't say yes on Proposition 22, rideshare drivers will be prevented from continuing to work as independent contractors, putting hundreds of thousands of Californians out of work. This must be from Uber or Lyft. Let me keep on reading, because this is fear language right here. Out of work and likely shutting down ride sharing throughout much of the state. An Uber spokesman told TechCrunch. So that's the fear marketing from the Uber and the Lyft spokesman. Guess what? You're all going to be out of work. Guess what? We're going to abandon California. That's just fear marketing. People don't buy into that, right? We're better than that. We're considering our appeal options, but the stakes couldn't be higher for drivers. Again, 72% of whom support Proposition 22. Survey conducted by Uber, right? They did the survey. And for California, and for the California economy, where millions of people are jobless, and another 158,000 just sought unemployment this week. The judge's decision comes after California Superior Court Judge Ethan Schulman granted a preliminary injunction in August. I mean, he's very nice to Uber and Lyft, giving them a preliminary injunction, giving them another 30 days, giving them a stay. I mean, Schulman's being very, very nice to them and saying, get your act together. But still, these guys here, no, we're above the law. We don't have to comply with this. We don't have to comply, right? The only people here, it's sort of weird, only people here who are not smiling. This dude, sort of smiling, not smiling. Every other lady here is smiling. They're smiling. I'm not smiling. Rick Nelson in the house. Howdy, y'all. Neil Moritz says the unions should have done a better job on no on 22 ads. The money is just not there. Neil Moritz, they have like $5 million. That's their war chest, right? They did a phenomenal job the other day in San Francisco with a Caravan from San Diego to Orange County to LA, up to Bakersfield, Fresno, all the way up to Sacramento, all the way over to San Francisco. They got tons and tons of media exposure, social media exposure, newspaper articles. They got at least $10-15 million worth of exposure in that weekend that they organized, that big Caravan, right? So when you don't have the dollars to fight a $200 million war chest, you got to get creative. And creative is that drivers will take the day off or 2 days off, join the Caravan, and make noise in the streets, right? Get all the permits, get all, everyone was there. The Teamsters, Gig Workers Rising, Rideshare Drivers United, Mobile Workers Alliance, Edward Escobar with his whole organization. They were all there pounding the drum. No on 22. There we go. Versus these corrupt guys sending mailers. James Campbell's in the house. Did you make your move yet? Did you do the trip? Have you moved yet? I looked at Potter Handy emails I received, and I see that these forms primarily apply to California laws. Yeah, so if you are outside of the borders of California and you really want to speak to a heavy hitter, the one and only, and she's got a lot of successes against Uber and Lyft, is Shannon Lichten-Riordan, right? Shannon Lichten-Riordan, and I've spoken to her. I learn a lot from attorneys. I learn a lot in conversations with attorneys, right? If you tune in and listen to how their brains work, right, you learn so much from attorneys, right? Whether it's a California labor law attorney, right? Whether it's a class action attorney, just listen and learn, listen and learn. And James Campbell, 10. That's like high five, Borat is 10. And by the way, I believe that movie comes out today. I believe Borat is available on Amazon. So I'm not going to watch it today. I'm going to watch it with my kids tomorrow on Saturday, right? But this here is sickening, is that somehow Yes on 22 mailers got non-profit status with the post office and Californians are picking up the tab, right? How did they do that? Because you have evil masterminds like this guy and his little degenerate crew here who follow his instructions. Hey, let's find ways how to F over the California taxpayer so we don't have to pay this money, because we truly don't have the money. We're running out of money, right? And all of these disgraced attorneys, when you go out into the marketplace, this is how I do my work, right? I have 3 slides, right? We have 3, 6, 18 here. I have times 3. I have about 54 of you, 3 slides. I'm going to dedicate a video to each. Yeah, it's a lot of work. I have to make 54 videos. But what I'm going to achieve is that when you go back out into the marketplace, if you get off the Titanic, right? If you find a rowing boat and get off the Titanic and reach the shores, I'm going to make sure you don't have a job, right? Because the way I'm going to display you in social media is not pretty, right? Anybody who's looking to hire you is going to think twice, right? And at some point, these guys are going to leave the Titanic, I'll guarantee you. Just like all of those engineers, those jobs were shipped out to India. Trust me on this one. They're going to cut back on these fools, and these fools are going to be looking for jobs, right? And then when you reach your new job, I hope, A, you get it. Very likely you're not going to get it because you're going to come across as a disgraced attorney who did not follow the law, right? And it's not going to look great on your resume coming from Uber, right? Because they're not really fancied in the public world, right? They're not even fancied in the financial world, right? So let me be very, very straight here. By the time you apply for a job and you manage to get off the Titanic before it hits the iceberg, good luck finding your new job with your disgraced reputation, right? I think I made myself very clear there. Now, Payman, I cannot wait for Borat. If you saw the first Borat, there are some scenes that are so cringeworthy you can't even watch, right? And the same, there are a lot of funny scenes built in there, but there's some like, oh my God, I cannot actually believe he's doing this. I cannot actually believe he is saying this. This guy, Sacha Cohen, he definitely pushes the boundaries and gets the craziest shit on camera. So it's going to be funny. Mike Ozra says Solar Movies has its free pirated version. Really? No, it's okay. I have Amazon Prime, so I'll watch it there. Did you see his series on This Is America? Yeah, brilliant. And did you see the Ali G? Did you see the Ali G shows? Hilarious, right? Cohen is a comedic genius. I've watched, I would say 90% of his footage. And then my son yesterday says, hey, Dad, I found this video. You got to watch it, right? And it's frickin', if you guys want to have a good laugh, right?
In USA, they treat their horses like we in Kazakhstan treat our women. They feed them twice a day. They make them sleep on straw in a small dark box. And for entertainment, they make them jump over fences while being whipped. I come here to Classic Hampton Horse Show to find out more. Dziękuję. Do you
Dziękuję.
like the Hamptons? Sorry, I did a spit on you.
I spit on you.
Do they let in gypsies here?
Gypsies? I don't think so. I don't know, maybe.
What about, how you say, with big notes, lot of money?
Jewish.
Yes, yes.
Of course.
Do you have a swimming pool in a Hampton?
Oh, many, many.
In 1992 Olympic, we had no Kazakh swimmers. In 1996 Olympic, we have no Kazakh swimmer. In 2000 Olympic, how many swimmers we have?
We have a few. One?
No, none. None.
Why?
Because not good from swim. Dziękuję.
Hello?
What's your name, please?
My name is Skylar Riley.
Yes. And what do you do?
I just showed in Grand Prix.
Do you like horse?
Oh, I love my horses, and I love the horse that I rode this afternoon.
We say in Kazakhstan that a horse is like man. That a good, if a horse is good, it is like if a man is good. Yes, and if a horse is bad, it is like if a man is bad. And if a horse is hungry, it's like if a man is hungry. And if a horse is sad, it's like if a man is sad.
So this chick has all the patience in the world, right? He keeps on going with those examples and she just plays along. I mean, she has patience like you cannot believe. But guys, watch Borat tomorrow. Have a good laugh on me, please. It's going to be funny. So the judge's decision comes after California Superior Court Judge Ethan Schulman granted a preliminary injunction in August to force Uber and Lyft to reclassify its drivers as employees. Uber and Lyft appealed the decision, but the appeals court has now affirmed the decision from the lower court. The lawsuit was brought forth by California Attorney General Javier Becerra, along with city attorneys from LA, San Diego, San Francisco. In May, they argued, we know all of that, right? While this legal victory today is directed at two companies, this fight is far broader, Gig Workers Rising said in a statement. This is about the future of work in this country. This is about securing good jobs with real benefits for generations to come. If Uber and Lyft are successful in passing Proposition 22 and undo the will of the people, they will inspire countless other corporations to adapt their business models and misclassify workers in order to further enrich the wealthy few at the expense of the workforce. I want to repeat that last sentence because it's extremely powerful, right? If Uber and Lyft are successful in passing Proposition 22 and undo the will of the people, they will inspire countless other corporations to adopt their business models and misclassify workers in order to further enrich the wealthy few at the expense of the workforce. So this is not just about the drivers here. Proposition 22 or a yes on 22 would have such an impact on the workforce. Corporations would feel empowered. They would use those laws that Uber and Lyft fought for with their $200 million, and they would also adapt and screw over further people in the workforce, just like these thugs are doing, right? Which is correct. Neil says they want to create a slave class of workers. The profits are all that count to these corporations. Investors want to see profits at any cost. At any cost. Show us the profits. Increase the profit margin at any cost. Whatever you have to do, Tony West, increase the profit margin. If it means screwing the laws, being above the laws, not complying with the laws, we want to see bigger profits, right? Payman says in the new one, he crashed into a Tesla in a delivery truck. Really? Oh, Lord, did he? Well, he did that intentionally, right? Oh, that's going to be interesting. So I didn't see that scene, but I can't wait. Rick Nelson says Sacha Cohen plays Abby Hoffman in the Chicago 7 movie. Mike Auger, oh, yep, that one, Scott Tucker. Careful, Torsten, copyrights. Copyrights, go for it. Hit me for the copyrights. I'm exposing these fools. Let them come. I'll settle with them. Dennis Torres, the judge, said 30 days to comply. Is it whether Prop 22 passes or not? I'm confused now. So Dennis Torres, they have 30 days to comply after the appeal court. They could possibly elevate this to the California Supreme Court, buy additional time, or they are hoping for a yes on 22. If they get a yes on 22 in November, they're smiling. So if whether Prop 22 passes or not, they have to comply, but if they get the yes on Proposition 22, they're not going to comply, right? That's what they're fighting for. That's what they're spending the money for, right? Doug LeConte says, I still cannot understand how and why Uber and Lyft are losing money. Where does the 25% go? Tech support in India, one office in San Francisco. How are they losing money? Well, what they're doing is they're subsidizing the trips, right? It's the race to the bottom. They are paying in. They, with their monies, they are subsidizing the trips because they want to burn out all the competition and rule the roost, right? So they are offering fares where it's like rock bottom dollar and not really making money. And then, spending all of the money that they have acquiring, buying. Look, they made an offer for $1.2 billion to buy BMW and Daimler's self-driving arm, free now, right? They started Uber Freight. They started Elevate. They started self-driving. You want to know where all of the money goes that we bring in? They go out and build multiple companies. The majority of them have not really been functioning or making profits. They really haven't been doing very, very well. Jimmy says if Uber is allowed to ignore labor laws, that will set a precedent for other companies to ignore labor laws as well. Scott Tucker says, oh, I was talking about Borat. Okay, sorry about that. I thought you were talking about me. I'm like, wow. No, yeah, I'm sure Sacha Cohen and the entertainment group have an army of lawyers, right? But if they can catch people with their pants down, why not, right? I mean, they're out there filming. Rudy Giuliani was caught with his hands in his pants during this movie, apparently. So we shall see, right? Sacha Cohen, Borat, managed to break into one of Trump's rallies, right? So I don't know how he does it. He's got balls of steel, and I'm sure he's got an army of attorneys that have to fight off whatever comes his way, but he gets the movie done. Rashim Allen, with the bonuses Lyft has to post during pandemic, they are basically paying people to ride around LA. Rashim Allen says the investors make money on market share and stock price. Their books are cooked. I like that. Payment Ali, their books are cooked. I'm sure they do a lot of cooking. James Campbell says it's time for my exclusive interview with Harrison Ford. Hey, if you can pull that off, James, that would be absolutely amazing. All right, guys. So I think we covered a lot. I do think this is worthy of a standalone video. I'll do this one in the rideshare driving school channel. Philman Tewaldo is in the other one. Hey, Liam, can you do me a favor and see if you can get if you get sound in the rideshare driving channel, the Uber channel, because I just want to make sure that you connected the mic. You connected the mic as is, right?
Are you live right now?
Yeah, in the other channel.
You want me to check that now, right now?
I'm in 2 channels right now. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm just talking to Liam. Yeah, just make sure that you can hear the sound on rideshare driving school. Somebody could give me some feedback because I was just testing this new mic.
Yeah, it is done.
It's working on not on a rideshare, Professor, on the other one, right?
On the rideshare driving school.
Awesome. You need your channel. We don't want you slow down. What is SUR down? Slow down? You mean slow down? Slow down. Mike Osra, 38 being made again. T38 be making again. USAF got them brand new. Amen. Ward off evil. Take off the F word of evil. Okay, you got to break that down, dude. You sort of lost me a little bit there. I'm trying to follow. Or shut down. Oh, I'm not worried about a shutdown. I really am not, because I have 12 different YouTube channels with different emails, different passwords. That's the least of my worries. I'm not threatening anyone. I'm not wishing anyone harm, right? I think that's where you have to be careful. But I can call these idiots out, right? If I want to call them cockroaches or pure evil, it's my right. Freedom of speech. They can call me the same. Shut it down. Alrighty. What are we? Well, 56. We're going to go to 60 minutes. I don't want to bail out. So we got 43 people in the house. Sorry, not sorry. Uber, smash that like button. Let's get that at least up to 25. I mean, we've got 44 people in the house. I work hard for the likes, putting my time in here, clubbing them, using my energy. Just crank me up to 25 and I'll be happy. Need one of the. I'm going to ask Dustin if I can get one of his Smakovich ones. Or if he sells it, I'll buy one of his Smakovich fly swatters. Could have used it the other day when a fly landed on Mike Pence's head. Use Dustin's swatter. Oh, we don't want to shut down over Borat. Oh, I see. No, I'm giving him free publicity. I'm sure if he, and by the way, I have a line to Sacha Baron Cohen. I do have a line because my ex-wife, Angela, is very, very good friends with his wife. So I'll have to call a favor if he tries to shut me down. So I'm not worried about that. In fact, I'm giving him free publicity here. Sacha Cohen, if you're listening in, I'm giving you free publicity. Love your show, love what you stand for. Just keep on bringing out more material. We support you. Don't shut us down. Wolf and Eyes says, hello all. We say hello all back. Oh, that's interesting. Rashim Allison says, Professor, video is coming within the hour. Rider claims to own 38% of Lyft. A rider claims to own 38% of Lyft. Listen, I've done videos of an elderly gentleman who has copyrighted. He filed lawsuits against Uber and Lyft for infringing his copyright because he claims he came out with the app and the model, right? It's an elderly gentleman. So maybe it's him, but I don't, face value, I don't believe that a rider owns 38% of Lyft. No, too many, no investor would get involved if some rider randomly owned 38% of Lyft. Not a single investor would come on board. Got a message from Rideshare Drivers United. They just said to me, Torsten, it's our last full week of text and phone banking. Join us. Well, I'm not going to be making phone calls. I'm going to be using this platform to scream from the mountaintops. I think that is enough, right? So I'm doing my part, my friends. I'm definitely doing my part. You guys are doing your part. And I appreciate that. And you know what? I've lost a lot of subscribers over no on 22. So shall it be. I'm not going to change my direction like the rideshare hub to try and keep subscribers. No, I'd rather go out and educate myself, learn, talk to attorneys, have professionals on the show, and come up with my opinion and then discuss my opinion with the freedom of everyone to join in. Slick Nick is in the house. I did give you a shout out on Brian Greening's show. He's a Chicago attorney. You might be able to get some money there because your car was damaged in that Rancho Palos Verdes accident. Wolf and I says, thanks, mate. I appreciate you. Are you in Australia? Where are you, Wolf and Eyes? What city? Like that. Wolf and Eyes. Wolf and Eyes. Wolfine Eyes. Lorenzo Davis. I am still here. I'm still standing after all these years, feeling like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing. Lorenzo Davis is still here. He's still standing. Mike Ozra, a good faith-based church. Okay. Mike Ozra said F-16 word fighter, jets, ward off, evil, take off. I have no idea what you're talking about, dude. You're talking about fighter jets. We're talking about Uber. Let's stay on the topic, Mike. Stay on the topic. All right. And like I said, I promise all of these smiley faces and the non-smiley faces and the non-smiley faces to make a video that I personally will dedicate to you, to you, to you, to you, do you, right? And another one, especially to this one, and then to my little chubby friend down here, Randall Heimovicki. I've got a lot of beautiful videos coming your way, because at the end of the day, when these people leave the Titanic, before it hits, maybe some will stay on, maybe some will go down with the Titanic, but I could see a lot of these people bail out of the Titanic. I wish you the very best trying to get a job as an Uber attorney or as a counsel after I have made my videos about you. And the only reason why I'm going to be dedicating videos to 54 separate attorneys with the message to vote no on Proposition 22 is because it's you guys who are screwing over Californians, registering nonprofits, finding all the loopholes to try and stay above the law, not comply with the law, but try and be above the law. And I think Californians and other companies should find out who you are, who you are, who you are. It doesn't look good on your resumes, ladies and gentlemen, when you're coming from Uber, right? Hey, I just left the Titanic. I need a new job. I'm going to make sure that that person who is remotely thinking of hiring you comes across my video, because guess what? They do research about every single one of these characters online, right? They will go to this website, that website, look at their past, the history, and then they're going to come across my video, right? And I'm like, really? Do you want that disgraced person working for your company? Because I'm not taking my videos down, right? I am just trying to connect with people. I'm trying to connect with real Californians and show what these people do. And it's not going to look good on that new company that's thinking of hiring her, him, or whatever this guy does in the future, right? I'm sure he will always have a job because he's dialed in to some higher people. But the majority of these people, as they leave the Titanic, I wish you the very best of luck trying to get a new job, because that label, that tarnished label, that disgraced Uber label that you have branded as a tattoo on your butt, on your shoulders, or on the side of your neck will never go away, right? Yeah. Hey, Payman, good to see you, my friend. Keep up the pressure. Keep up the pressure. Under pressure. David Bowie and Queen. Watch it. Under pressure. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Under pressure. Looking down on me. Under pressure. Under pressure. Under pressure. Under pressure. Dun, 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 dun. So for other drivers, still get hold of Potter Handy and see what they can do as far as referrals. Yep, exactly. I talked to both Mr. Potter and Tim Stockton, the two main attorneys, weekly, back and forth. Updates, information sharing. If I get any new stuff that I think that could help them, boom, I send it over. So yeah, we work well together as a team, right? Law firm, outsider, and then the companies we're going after, Uber and Lyft, right? Want to collect money for the hardworking drivers. Dun, 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 under pressure, coming down on me. Dun, 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 dun. REO Speedwagon, roll with the changes. Good one, very good one. They can get a job with another crooked firm. Yeah, maybe you have another crooked firm that would want you, right? You have another crooked firm and like, hey, you know, we know you're a crooked attorney. We know that you were great on misclassifying people. You were great on about standing above the law. So come and join our crooked firm. I think those are the only people, Jimmy, that would hire them, right? Because any person that has moral ethics or values or understands the California state bar or all the other state bars, right? These are disgraced people. These are disgraced people stealing money, setting up fraudulent fronts, taking away from the California taxpayer. And I have 2 more slides to go. So, I mean, these ones here, there's more to come. There's way more to come. And I will do a video when I launch those 50 plus videos on those individuals and call them out by name. I will do another video in the Rideshare Professor channel and reference those links. I'll put all of those links in there, right? So we can get the word out. Let's get the word out and show the world who these cockroaches are. Elias says, I love the idea to make an individual video on each Uber and Lyft attorney and counsel to follow track record on each individual's to go along with their resumes. 100%. That's what I'm doing, Elias. That's my game plan. And that's why I'm going to be up. You know, I mean, I got my broken leg here. Where am I going to go? I can't drive clients around. I do my phone calls. I have my meetings. I have a couple of video conferences, right? But in between, I'm having fun. I'm going to make videos till tonight until I knock off all of those videos. Boom, push them out there before election day and let Californians see, right? Let Californians see who these 18 squirrels are and the other right up to 36 and right up to 54, right? There's 3 slides of 18. Let the people find out what their names are, what they look like, right? Who they work for and what they're doing. And then let the universe decide their fate, right? Whether they want to go and join another crooked law firm or whether they don't get the job. I could not care less. My job is done. Sí, señor, right? You know what? And the one thing I tell you, like me, I have something very, very personal against this little chubby guy. He knows. You guys know who he is, right? And I'm going to break this guy down, right? Just like I learned in the army how to use intelligence and break people down, right? Not a fun job, but we will have to do the job if we want to get results, right? So I will chip away at his foundation until the walls come down, because what the guy did to me and my family, I will never, ever, ever forgive this guy. And by the way, pay up, Tony. You have 2 lawsuits against you. Pay up, right? Do some damage control, because one guy can make a lot of noise. I've definitely learned that. You know, that was when I did my master's in business economics, you know, focused on marketing and social media marketing, right? So to make noise, to use this thing here, this mouthpiece, not a problem. Rideshare Trickster's in the house. Lancaster's in the house. Hello to all and hello to the family. Cool. Shout out to Rideshare Trickster. Oh, Jason Ferris is in the house. The moment I saw Jason Ferris, I knew what he's up to. He said, please, can you flush Dara? Why don't we flush Dara and do a symbolic flush of all of these people that are screwing over taxpayers and screwing over drivers. I agree to that. I can totally agree to that, right? So, you know, we will do that, absolutely. We will definitely do that. We will do that. Let's get, let me just show all of those attorneys where they're going right now. So, like I said, I regard Dara and all of these individuals, they're like this creature here, pure evil, right? Screwing over families, screwing over individuals. All of you, symbolically, this is you, this is you, this is you, this is you, Tony, this is you, Dara, this is you, right? That's who you are. And I say to you, all of you, plus the other 54, there we go. Adios. Adios. And another one. In fact, I'll be flashing 54 times because there's 54 of you. 54 times. Down they go. Every single one of them. Down they go. Down the pipes, down the sewage, right? Because you're talking about the bottom of the trash here, right? They don't follow the law. They think they're above the law. And the only place they belong, as Jason Ferris says, is down deep in the sewage pipes. That's where these individuals belong, right? So I will leave the article. California Appeals Court upholds ruling that Uber and Lyft must classify drivers as employees. They have 30 days to comply. I would bet any money that they are going to try to push their yes on 22 and at least file in the California Supreme Court, their last final chance, right? You lose in the lower court, you lose in the higher court, you lose on appeals, and now you're going to go to the California Supreme Court, or hope you saved by the bell in the 15th round and get your yes on 22. So, but good, we had some fun there. Adios, adios 54. Hashtag adios 54. There we go. Hashtag, let's get that going. Hashtag adios 54. I like that, Elias. That's a good one. By the way, the t-shirt that I created and the hashtag, it was my baby. I created that. COVID era 19, right? It already shows up on Twitter. It's already trending. So when I ask people to hashtag that and hashtag that and hashtag COVID era 19 and hashtag COVID era 19, right? The biggest pandemic of the gig worker law, Dara Khosrowshahi. It is already, if you put in COVID DA and you're not even on the R and haven't even put in the E, the A and the 19, it already shows up. It is already trending, which is amazing. It means it has been circulated hundreds of times. So I did my job, right? I bought the t-shirt, right? Just like here, sorry, not sorry. I'm sure if you put this on Twitter or anywhere, it would populate. If you put sorry, not S, and it would populate because it's been used so many times. The same goes with the disease, right? The disease, with this disease. Professor, how can they do that if a ballot vote passes? They would have to change back to ICs in January if 22 passes. No. If they get their yes on 22, they're going to run it the way they want run it, 30 cents a mile and 120% of minimum, right? That then becomes the new California law. I mean, you'd have to fight that and I think get a 7 out of 8 ruling if you want to try to overturn yes on 22. And my guess is if they do get the yes on 22, California is not going to give up. California is going to keep on fighting. I mean, Javier Becerra doesn't look like the guy is going to roll over, right? All right, folks, we're in 1 hour, 15 minutes. My day is going to start. I got a lot of work ahead of me. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you, James. Thank you, Thomas, for the contributions and the donations. Thank you, Rideshare Trickster. Thank you for being on yesterday's show. And we march on, right? Proud and strong, right? United and educated. We march on, we march on, we march on, right? And please get that hashtag spread around. Hashtag COVIDera19. Makes a great video. Trickster, thank you, sir. Slap down $1 for a holla. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you 100%. Awesome. A huge round of applause for everyone for sticking in. Thank you to the audience. We've got 31 likes, winding it down. Anybody can get a last minute thumbs up, please just smash that like button, as Dustin says. I'm super happy to get over 30 likes. Much appreciated. And happy Friday. Have a fantastic weekend, everyone, whether you're working, whether you're going to go spend it with your family, whether you're going to go for a hike, to the park, whatever you do, or maybe go out and to a restaurant out there, outside in the open, obviously not indoors. Wear your masks, right? Wear your masks. Boom, boom, boom. And then also use your sanitizers. Use your sanitizers, right? In the car. Be well, everyone. I really appreciate you. Happy weekend.